Good evening. My name is Monique Renteria. Today's date is December 16th, 2018, and I am doing my week 7 video exercise, which is about the gross anatomy of the central nervous system. So first we're going to start off with, this is a sheep's brain, and I already pulled out the meninges, and I already did, it's kind of falling apart because I already did the cutting and labeling of the lab exercise. So this is the dorsal area. This is the dorsal structure of the sheep's brain. First, we're going to start off with the frontal part of the lobe, which is this area here. Then we're going to go to the longitudinal fistula, which is this line down here in the middle. Then we're going to go to the peripheral lobe, which is this area here and here. Then we're going to move on to the occipital lobe, which is the lower part, which is here and here. Then we'll move on to the cerebellum, which is this whole area here. And then next we're going to move on to the sulcus, which is the grooves, which is this like little black lines. And then next we have the gyrus, which are the ridges. So it's like this white part where they're like kind of bumpy on both sides. And then the last one for the dorsal structure is the temporal lobes, which are here and here. Next, I'll be moving it to the ventral structure of the sheep, which is pretty much, to me, like the bottom. First, we're going to start off with the olfactory bulbs, which are these two areas here. Then we're going to move on to the optic chiasma, which is this area here. The mammillary gland is, the mammillary body is right here, kind of like where the little hole indentment is at. And then the parietal lobe is here. The cerebellum is here. Then we're going to go to the optic nerve, which is a little bit right above it's right above the optic chiasma. So it's like right here. Then the optic tract is this thing here. This whole thing. And that right there was just the optic chiasma, The midbrain is, the midbrain is this part here. The meninges were right here, but I kind of took them out. But they were, it's pretty much this thing right here. This is all the meninges. Next, we're going to move on to the pons. And to me, the sheep brain on the picture that was given to us is way better than the one we received. It looks like, with all the chemicals and everything, and kind of whiten out the area. So it's kind of hard to see. So the pons are just right here, like right above the medulla oblongata. This is a medulla oblongata. Next, I already had cut it. So this is the sheep brain cut in half. And this is considered, the mid-sagittal section of the sheep brain. To me, this one looks a little bit better to see. So first we're gonna go to the corpus callosum, which is this here. Then the optic chiasma, which is right here. The thalamus is this big part here. And the pineal gland is right here. Oh, excuse me, this stuff is really strong. Then let me go like this. The cerebrum is right here. And then the arable, the white matter is where these little lines are at. You could kind of see it here. And then the spinal cord is this part. And the central cord is here. The medulla oblongata is right above it, which is this area up here. The pons is over here in this area. And then the midbrain is a little bit more up. And the mammillary gland is this. And the hymus is this. And one more thing I forgot to show you guys. And that is going to be the how the cerebrum was pulled back from the cerebellum. Excuse me, this stuff is super strong. Okay, so here we go. The cerebrum is this area here. The pineal glands are these areas here. The corpora quadrilaterale, sorry, I'm for sure I'm not saying that right at all, are these areas. I'm sorry, the pituitary gland is this part, I'm sorry. And then these are the corpora quadrigemina. And lastly, the cerebellum is this area here. All right, it is a lot of information, and sorry, it was kind of hard to see, but to me, the sheep brain wasn't that very good compared to the ones in the pictures. The one in the pictures obviously looked a little bit fresher than the one we received, but hopefully you were able to understand. Thank you, and have a good night.